Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're getting our final review of Kin by Whitechapel. So the week has gone by, we listened to Kin as much as we possibly could for the entire week, and I'll say that I enjoy this album quite a lot. We did do kind of like a first impressions when we did our new releases for the week this came out. We're a little late to the party on this review, but better late than never. But on my first impressions, I had some not so positive comments, specifically in regards to the overall tone of the album, because it's a lot softer than usual. Now the Valley was also a lot softer than usual in regards to this band, but not as much. They definitely turned that aspect up a lot for this album. And at first I was like, that's not what I want. That's not what I want from Whitechapel. It just is not. But I still can't deny it's good music, right? And that's what we're talking about here. It's not about, is this what I want from Whitechapel? Yes or no? No. It's, is this a good album? Yes or no? Let's get into that. So, I Will Find You, starting track. I think it's a great opener. Do I have a lot of things to say about it? No, I really don't. It's just a solid song, right? There's nothing really that stands out and screams out at me like, I don't want to say it sounds average, because it doesn't. It excels in certain ways, but it's kind of just overall. It just is a good opening track. It gets the album going, you're like, yes, cool. Then Lost Boy comes on. Phenomenal track. Okay, we reacted to the music video. I liked it then. I like it way more now. It is so good. This song has this weird, I shouldn't say weird, you hear it a lot, but it's like a forward motion. Kind of really has this driving feel to it that really makes the song feel like it's going forward. And then you reach this part, it's like the Tool section. We talked about it, like, sounds like Tool. And at first it bothered me. I'm like, oh, why is this here? It sounds like Tool, that bugs me. But the thing is, it grew on me, and I'm just glad they didn't kind of overdo it. They used their ideas sparingly and tastefully throughout the song and the album. So it's not like they're like, oh, this whole song sounds like Tool. Like, I hate even saying that, because I know that's not what they were going for, but it just does. Yeah. Right? It just does. It is what it is. Right, so now you got two good songs, well, one good song, one great song right out of the gate. You're off to a good start. The Bloodsoaked Symphony, another amazing song. Like, these guys are hitting homer, homer, homer. And honestly, it kind of just stays with that the whole album. My highlight track, though, honestly, is Orphan. We reacted to that video as well. It was another single. It's one of the most emotionally charged, the mellow, softest songs on the album, next to maybe the last song, Kin, which actually gets heavier near the end. Orphan doesn't really get heavy at any point. But this song is powerful. It is just powerful. And I've said this before about songs where you don't need, like, to me, Orphan is still metal. It's metal as fuck because it has weight to it. And to me, metal is not about the speed. It's not about the technicality. It's not about the double bass. It's about the weight the music holds. Now, all those elements do add to that. This song doesn't need that. It had weight and emotion. So beautiful. The solo, the bridge section, chilling. And the solo, immaculate. Fucking loved it. Orphan is amazing.
It's great that ended up being your favorite track, considering how you felt about this album in their new releases video. And that goes to show it's why we do album reviews the way that we do them.
Exactly.
If we reviewed this album the day it came out, it would have probably, he said what he said sounds a lot different than what he's saying now.
Yeah.
And I can agree that Orphan's a very powerful, amazing, emotional, beautiful track, and I love it. One small thing I'm going to mention about this album is Without You, the track after Orphan.
Love it.
This track just slips by me every single time in a good way. It's just like a 1 minute long guitar interlude track. Mm-hmm. But every single time it came on, I never thought, oh, this is Without You, because the album flows perfectly. It just goes, and you don't feel like anything's disjunct. It's got this contour of heavy, brutal, and very emotional. It does that perfectly. So the fact that Without You as the bridge between Orphan and Without Us flows so seamlessly just goes to show how well crafted this album is.
I felt like it was there just to relieve the chills that Orphan gave you.
Yeah,
because it
honestly.
leaves you just
Orphan's really powerful. So is the title track, and I felt that way when we first listened to this album when it came out. That Kin is just strong,
monsters.
Like you really feel that weight. And I agree about Lost Boy and A Blood-Soaked Symphony. Lost Boy, I loved back then. I still love now. Just the vicious. I don't think it's the chorus. I guess it's one of the main grooves that is just
like the verse groove.
Yeah, it gets me every time.
So
when he screams, "Stare into the eyes of a lost boy," I just I love every single time. Love that part. Bloodsoaked Symphony, amazing bounce. Like you're just going, and you know what? The Ones That Made Us also has a cool bounce to it. Not the same way though, which is really cool. That it's also got a bounce, but a different bounce. And that's really cool. You know, like, and I was kind of thinking, like, in my head, you know, what you said back when we first, you know, checked the album out, like, like, does this sound like too much like Valley? But you know what? What I really like about this album is that it does not sound like the Valley 2.
No.
They took the direction they started going in the Valley and kept walking that direction to develop that further.
Correct.
Which gives you more emotion, more contour, just imagine everything in the Valley, but just more of that. Not in the sense that it's the same thing,
like
but
emphasized.
Yeah, emphasized, just further development of the concept presented in that album. And I love that a lot. One thing I really love about Phil's performance on this album is that his harsh vocals are some of the clearest harsh vocals I've heard. Like, obviously a lot of harsh vocals are hard to tell what the vocalist is saying, because that's by nature, that's what they are, right? But with Phil Bozeman's vocals on this album, I found myself being able to hear him pretty clearly even when he's growling, and that is impressive.
Yeah. There was also some other vocal things that I noticed, and I'm not sure if it was Phil harmonizing with himself or was another band member. I think another band member because, especially in, I believe it was the title track, Kin, probably in the third or fourth act of the song, there's there's a harmonized vocal going on. You can hear Phil definitely doing the cleans on top and then somebody in the background. I don't think it was him. I think it was another band member doing backup vocals. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but it just didn't sound like Phil. And if it did, it was a harsh vocal, but it wasn't Phil's harsh. You know what I mean? It was a little different. But that's just another thing that I don't recall ever hearing another voice harmonizing on a Whitechapel song. So they're adding in elements. They're doing things that are new and unique to the band, which is cool. All the stuff about the direction they're going, though, it will leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Okay, it will. And like I said, this is not what I want from Whitechapel. It really isn't. But I can't deny that it's good music. It just simply is.
You kind of have to ignore the fact that it's got the Whitechapel name on it almost.
Exactly. Like I almost feel like I'm listening to a different band almost. And I get a lot of vibes from old school nu metal stuff, which I've said this a million times. I think deathcore came from nu metal, was birthed out of nu metal. But I'm talking about bands like Stained, for example, like some of the more the more depressing kind of nu metal, right? That was out around the early 2000s. So like Stained and bands like that. And I do hear, and people are gonna hate me for this. We're gonna get thumbs down for this. I do hear Five Finger Death Punch in here. I do. I'm sorry. Five Finger Death Punch.
In this case, I think I can see where you're coming from in this case, because you look at some of the songs on the more recent Five Finger Death Punch albums, and some of them are quite emotional. That comparison I can agree with in some cases.
There's even a couple vocal moments where Phil does, it's maybe his phrasing, his tonality, I'm not exactly sure what about it is, but I'm like, that right there sounds like Ivan Moody. Really, really evokes that Ivan Moody kind of vibe.
And it's not like that comparison's a bad thing.
It's not really.
You say what you want about Five Finger Death Punch, but they've recently done some good stuff. The last record they did, which I think was this year, was it not, or last year?
Fate? I think it was last year.
Either way, I recall us both liking it quite a bit, especially because it was a big upgrade on the last record before that. But a big part of it was just that, there was no bullshit. There was a lot of emotion there, and there's tons of emotion here.
Yeah. So I think people are receiving Whitechapel a lot better than they received Five Finger Death Punch. Because it was almost the same thing. Five Finger Death Punch came out heavy and hard and then went emotional and people went, fuck these guys. They're trying to go mainstream, whatever. Whitechapel's kind of doing the same thing, but people are like, yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know what it is. But, ratings?
I guess so. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, this album's great from start to finish. Great contour, great everything. It gets my toe tag. This album really, it's very fresh for deathcore. You really, even though it is a further development from the Valley, what deathcore band or album sounds like the recent Whitechapel stuff? No one, really.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe they're bending the genre a little bit too much in people's opinions. But it's good music either way. Yeah, it gets my toe tag as well. I mean, I can't give it anything less than that. It's just, it's immaculately performed. It's very well mixed too, which I'll add to that. The guitar tone on this album, which is one thing I wanted to say, is so nice. It sounds like creamy butter in my ears. I don't know what that means, but I hope you get it because it's so nice. I don't know what the hell they're doing to it, but it's so clean. It's so pure. These guitar solos just sound like magic. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, 2 toe tags for Kin, well deserved, I think. And I'm not surprised you gave it one. I expected this. Anyways, guys, that's it for this review. So let us know down below what you guys think of Kin. A lot of you guys were talking about. They wanted us to review this album.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is why we did it, because people were like, "Oh, you gotta do Kin. You gotta do Kin. Oh, you listen to it more, it's gonna grow on you." Blah blah blah.
Everyone was talking about that album.
So yeah, comment down below and let us know what you guys think of what we said here. And yeah, that's it. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel. That's it from us for now. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep those heads banging.